Okay, this, first of all, I need to let you know I'm not a general contractor. I'm definitely not an electrical contractor. But this is how I went through putting my solar up. And it's a 4.48 kW DC system. It's got 16 panels, 16 microinverters. The panels are 300 watt, the microinverters are 280. So the first thing you're going to need is the California Solar Permitting Guidebook. This has everything in it you need. It tells you how far the wires need to be off the roof. It gives you some samples of electrical. First thing you're going to need and read. Go through it. Very helpful. Okay, these are my plans that I turned into the city. As you can see, there's just a series of boxes that need to be checked, questions answered. This is structural calculations. There's also some, which is structural. This is your spacing. City. This is the city's one there. Again, I like the one. These are my drawings that I took into the city. What I have here is my equipment summary, which I said like a 4.48 kW DC system. These are all my drawings, and these are the governing codes. This was done in Google Maps. Take it to a PDF and then draw in it, and I can't even remember how I did it. But this is the general location map, vicinity map, and this is my house, and these are where the modules are all going to sit. This is the original plot plan of my house and where the modules sit. Okay, this is my my site plan. And right up here, I have a combiner panel, the Siemens AC disconnect. I tell how many modules. I have EMT conduit, rigid conduit. I talked about the junction boxes and where they're at. 3 of them. And these are the location of my panels. 16 of them. And as you can see, I can say how many I got. And one thing that's really important for this city, in fact, was that you need to put your fire setback in here. There's a 36-inch fire setback from the ridge, and there's a 18-inch fire setback from the hips. So I made sure I had that all on here. And then, like I say, these are my my base mount assemblies. A drawing like this helps you do a material takeoff of all the material you'll need, the base mounts, plus your cabling and your conduit, your wire. This is my array layout. Again, this will also, I just kind of separated them and blew them up a little bit. Again, this is all done in Microsoft Word, believe it or not. Just cut and paste symbols, lines, arrows. So, not that difficult. Okay, and these are my, this is my signage and placards. Pretty simple. There's one I don't have on here that I needed for the for San Diego Gas and Electric, which is like a little map. I'll show you that later. And this right here is a structural. This is my roof. Again, this was done in Microsoft Word. Then I've got my flashing detail. This is cut and paste from the quick mount PV system. And this is my roof structure. And this basically just shows that I'm going to attempt to hit the rafter in the center. And this is, again, is cut and paste from quick mount. And then we'll add, here's another roof section that shows your overhang and how far apart your mount should be for the spacing. Again, this is all cut and paste with some modifications in Word. Is my roof attachment pattern. I just said I'm going to put them all up on each rafter, and figured out the rafters were 24 inches apart, or pretty close to it anyway. Didn't quite work out like that, but that's basically that was the plan. This is my electrical one line that I really like. I did this all in Word also. Right here's the module detail showing the module, the inverter, the trunk cable, and the grounding. And here I have my inverter ratings, notes for the inverting circuit. I've got my placards and signs. Put it out in here. This is my conduit schedule and conductor. which these all relate to these on my one line. Okay, I also have my, this is the Solar World information, and then just some general notes that you can pick up anywhere, anybody that's done this before. And then I've got all the placards, shall be read. And here's my one line with my different circuits. I have 2 circuits, and these are my conduit and wire schedule up here. So I'll come down from this circuit, tie into a junction box, and then from this circuit, tie into a junction box, take it, this is on the roof and this is below the roof, take it right to my combiner box, then over to my AC disconnect, then to the meter and the ground, and have that all connected. I hired an electrician to do all this, and I went over it with him, and it's pretty straightforward. And I also walked him through the system that I was going to have. Okay, I used the quick rack PV mount. Here's an installation manual. This tells you everything you need to know, how to do it, how to line it up, how to level it. And then I have the installation manual for my microinverters, the S280s from Enphase. These work pretty good too. And when all said and done, I got my permit. That's my job card, and that's where the permit's approved. This is where it's approved. And this is actually the approval letter from San Diego Gas and Electric that I can flip the switch. They didn't even need to come out. I did an expedited review of that, and it worked out pretty well. Okay, after all my drawings are done, I went in and did a material takeoff. This is my takeoff, and developed a material list. And who I got, who the vendor was. And what I did, I put this together first, all the material together, and I called Civic Solar out of Oakland, California, who is very good. They were very helpful. And I told them I was going to put this out to competitive bid, and they asked me who I was sending it to, so I told them some names like Wholesale Solar, E Online, and I was just getting individual prices for it. So I put this together, sent it to them. They sent me back a price, and it was cheaper than any of the online stuff I could get. And so I just went ahead and started the order and process. Again, Civic Solar out of Oakland, California, very reasonable and very helpful. They did a good job. Okay, these are my quick mount PV base mounts. There's 6 in each box. I put the other, I mean, they all ship 4, so the other 4 will be coming in on Monday. This is what they look like. That's the flashing. These are the base mounts and the screws. And I've got some clamps that go with it. I got 2-inch and 8-inch clamps. These go just like this. This with the screw down through the roof. So it's supposed to take about 30 seconds to install, and we'll see. It'll probably take a lot longer than that. Okay, here are the tools you need to start installing these base mount assemblies. There's my drill with an 1/8-inch drill bit on the end of it. There's a 1/2-inch socket. This is my flashing. This is my shingle roofer. What you need to do if you're going to put it under this shingle, to overlap here, you need to come up all the way under here. And here, it's also called a nail puller, and it'll get underneath there and just grab hold of it and pull the nails right out. You really got to have these. Flat bar doesn't really work that well. And then you've got the caulking. What I usually do is after I've got it ready to go, I'll put a bead of caulk right around here, and I'll also put one right over the pilot hole that I've drilled in with my drill, and that'll get a good seal. Okay, you've got the this is your base mount right here. Once you drilled your hole, your pilot hole, set this on top of it. Now you need to set your base, your mount, and that sets on there just like this. And you got a screw that goes in there just like that. Screws all the way down. And when you're done, this is the little weather protection that goes on top. Now on top of this right here, it'll be setting like this or like this. And you've got a bracket. And this fits on here right like this. Just slides on, and that holds your module right there and there. They also have the 8-inch brackets where you can use to bridge two modules together. So that's all you need, and you can get started on the base mounts. Now one thing to remember about the base mounts and the flashing, this right here, it needs to be through the rafter. So you'll need to find your rafter and where it is. I'm not very good at it. You can do it by sound. Some people can do it by sound. I usually do it by just exploratory is what they call it, and a hit and miss. So this has to be into the center of your rafter. These are this is the bracket that the microinverter sits on. And just like this on the panel. And then this clips onto the panel. This will go in between that and that. So I'll show you how it works. Getting ready to put my Enphase S280 microinverter onto one of my panels. I'll show you how this is done. First of all, what you got to do when you unpack these microinverters is you need to unpeel this little barcode here. Take it off again, and I'm going to put this one on the array right here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be the first one right there. So there's my first leg. This will be my second leg, which is circuit 1, and this is my third leg, which will be the second circuit. There's my S280 microinverter. So I'll put that on my panel, and then that panel goes up. Okay, there you have it. I mounted the Enphase microconverter onto the bracket, and this is pretty simple. You create space between this part of the bracket and the inverter, and you catch the lip right there of the module, and then you place this bracket right on top of it. Finger tighten it down, and then you tighten it down to 13 foot-pounds, which is where I have it right now. Not too difficult, just pretty straightforward. Not looking too bad. I'm going to have 3 landscape and 3 portrait here, so I'll have 6 modules here. Down here on this first level, I'll have 7 modules. And the first circuit is right here. As you can see, I've already got one of my panels down, and that's just testing it out, seeing how everything fit. I got my trunk cable all laid out, so I'm going to have 3 landscape modules here. 2 landscape, another one landscape, so I got 3 landscape. That's good. That's good. That was quick. And the first leg is up there. And that's the second leg that's going up. Sometimes where the second leg is going to be, I'm going to have 3 landscape, 3 portrait leg. So this will be a circuit. There's a junction box. I'll have a conduit running up to there. The junction will end up about right here. And then this one will take it down to the panel on the side of the house. So, almost done. And up here, got my trunk cable laid out. I'm going to have a connection right here, one right here, and the other one I think I'm going to connect, probably be connected right up there, and then I need to splice that in with that one, and then connect the 3 portrait. There's the third leg. Got a shadow. I got to get rid of that tree right there. My neighbor will be fine with that. I've got it covered with an opaque cover for my electrician so he doesn't get hurt. Got a little pathway for him to walk up here.
Don't worry about it.
This panel up here is going to go down here and tie into that one. And then I've got 2 more portrait, and then that should be it. So I don't have all my wire managed yet, but it's still not too bad. My electrician's coming in Monday. Today is Saturday. This is the first leg. Looks pretty good. I did all my wire management, nothing hanging on the roof. And then there's the ocean. Catalina in the background. So we got our first leg right here. We got the second leg going in right here. And then that's the third leg, which is the first circuit, which is covered. Electrician did. I'm opening up this little junction box here. This is to the third leg. And we've got all our cables coming out of the trunk cable right here, the neutral, positive, negative, and the ground. And he's connected those up and run them right through here and up through this conduit, up through the wall, I mean up on the wall, strapped. And the ground is free air going right up through the roof penetration. And I don't know if you can see it, but right here's the ground, and there's a ground lug under here that attaches to on the frame. Now we'll go up and look at the main junction box where this one ends up. Okay, this is where the third leg comes up into the conduit penetration right here. Runs along here. These are wood blocks, pressure treated, and just keep the conduit off the roof. I've got my labels. These are every 10 foot or whenever the conduit changes directions. It's up here, so this third leg ties right into there. This is the first leg right here. My conduit box right there, and it looks just like the first one I just showed you, and it runs down around this way, up this way, right back to the main conduit box. This is what the main box looks like right here. It's got all the splices in it. Again, I've got my labels on all the junction boxes. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and everything runs down. Again, here's the other ground coming from this one and coming from that third leg right there, and it loops around and comes right into the box. Okay, and then this goes down, another wooden block, treated pressure wood just to hold the conduit off the roof. Here we go, another label, and we run all the way down to that conduit penetration there, which goes down to the combiner box. Okay, let's go down and see what he did. Okay, my electrician's here. He's going. There's the AC disconnect. The main panel. Got my combiner box. And run here into the disconnect. Conduit going up through the roof. There's the roof penetration. Making progress. Making progress. This is the first day here. Here's my electrician. Traeger Electric.
Go to the far one right now.
Traeger Electric out of San Juan Capistrano. Highly recommended.
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to show you what my electrician did here. This is the AC combiner box with the placards and stuff on it. And this actually goes right up here like this. I took it off. And what we've got here, this is the conduit body where all the 2 circuits come down. And you can see the one green is the one ground for the equipment stuff. And that's all. He connected all of those up into the main junction box up on the roof and brought one down. And the other, we've got one, a red and a black and a white, a red and a black and a white. So that's the 2 circuits right there. They come right in here, and the red and the black, there's one circuit. There's one circuit. There's the other circuit. And then the white, which is a neutral, runs right up to this bus bar. And then these three come out and they run down, right through here, and then they come down and they go over to the AC disconnect right here. And they're wired into a couple of breakers in there, and then from there there's two wires that are wired right in here. And that's basically it. He did a really good job. I like the way he keeps his wire nice and neat. So it looks good. It looks good. Okay, this is my splice kit. We're going to attempt to do this. I've got my wire cutters. What I'll do is I'm going to cut this trunk connection off about right here and splice these two wires together with my connector. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'll go through a few steps. Okay, here goes. Okay, I told you I was going to go through a few steps with this splice kit here. And this is the way it comes. This end comes off here. It goes onto one end. Okay, here's the final installation. This is what the panels look like right over here. That's where I was going to have the Envoy, but it doesn't work in there. It's too far away from my router, and it's not supposed to be in a metal box. So what we've got right here, this is the AC combiner box with the placards on it. I showed you the wiring of this inside earlier. Looks good. And this is the it's the main panel. This is the placard that San Diego Gas and Electric wanted me to get. I mean, it's their specification. It's either got to be riveted or screwed in with a little map showing where everything is. And then that's my AC disconnect. One thing the city inspector wanted us to do, we had the ground ending in here. He wanted us to bring it from this box all the way down right to here and into a ground rod. And then from the ground rod, we brought it in here, right up to here, and landed it on the panel, so the panel is now ground. This panel was originally ground to a strap in the footing in the foundation. So that's what the inspector wanted us to do. They like to see the ground rods. The other thing the inspector had us do was we had these two breakers up here, and he wanted us to move them from here down to here, as far away from the main breaker as we could get them. And that's about as far away as you can get them. I also had to put those little labels on there just to make them happy, and it made them happy because it passed. So this is the final look. I think it looks pretty good, not too bad, and we'll go up and look at the final installation of the panel. Okay, here's the final installation of the panels. This is the first circuit, the third leg. Then we've got the second leg up here, which is part of the first circuit. Looks pretty good, all the wires managed. And then we've got the, take a look at the first leg. And this is the first leg, first circuit. So the first leg, second leg, and then that's the third leg down there. And again, all running down to the combiner panel. That's it. I figure this is going to be about a 5 to 6 year payback. I produce about 19 kilowatt hours on a good sunny day in the winter, and we use about 21 to 22, so it's not going to take long to get it paid back. 5-6 years, I'm pleased with that. It's producing a lot better than I thought it would. In the summer it should pretty much take care of most of our electrical use. So there you have it. I'm going to do a second video, probably to show the Envoy and the hardware and the software on how we manage these things. So if anybody likes this, then I'll do a second one.